make a list list of 100 WRDs word used in DANG Django with here appropriate PLA and an explanation. Dango, Danjo. Okay, let's search. Here are the 100 commonly used word in Danjo. Danjo is the high-level Python web framework. Okay, now we'll add this in my website also. Mm, okay, let's search this. A model or class in the Danzo that define the structure of the database table, view or function of the class that receive the web request and the return user response template or file text in the Django that defines the HTML structure of the web page with the dynamic content URL URL conf or module that maps URL pattern views in Danzo request in object that represents the HTTP request and sent to the server response in object that represents the HTTP response sent back to the server. URL a module that maps URL pattern to view in the Django request an object that represents the HTTP request into the server response. An object that represents the HTTP response in back to the client query or collection of the database query in the Django that returns the list of the project migration or Django mechanism for propagating changes made to the model. Database schema admin are built-in Django feature that provide all ready-made interface for managing the module's static file like CSS, JavaScript, or image that are served to the client without modification. Middleware no, authentication, the process of verifying the user identity in Django. Authentication, the process of determining the user has a permission or not from a class that handles the input validation, form processing, and rendering the HTML form, and the is serializer, a class that convert the complex data types like Django models, JSON or XML format. The user or model representing a user in the Django often used for the login and authentication. Template tag, a custom function in the Django template that performs action or renders output. Template filter, a custom function that used to modify or filter the data with the template in context or dictionary like model CBB or Danzo view in return as the class provide a more reusable and modular component. FPP or Danzo view return as a function query set or collection of the method that allow the query in the database in the Danzo foreign key or field in the Danzo model that defines many to one relationship or field in the Danzo model that defines many to many relationship a field in the Danzo model that defines one-to-one relationship. Danzo way of following the decoupled application to get the notified when the certain event occur. A module in the Danzo or confirmation variable. Abstract class. Now permission. Test class Danjo that manager Danjo class. Abstract class permission user that defines the certain perform database router a class that is used. Middleware database router session CRSF also cross site request policy, a security feature in the Danzo that to prevent the malicious request from the unauthorized user. Also form field. Form model field. Danzo class that defines the models like the char field, integer field, etc. Admin site, a class that defines the how the Danzo admin site works. Now the template response or Danzo response object that renders a template and passes the content, get context data, a method in the class based view that add the content onto the template. User creation form, a form for creating the new user in Danzo form modifying an existing user file field model form in the Danzo used for handling and upload the file. Image field a model form in the Danzo used for handling the image upload. Char field a model form in the Danzo that stores a string. Integer field a model field in the Danzo that stores a integer value also. And char middleware for catching view in the Danzo session engine. Danzo setting that defines the backend to store the session data. Middleware responsible for associating user session with the request object. Database migration, a file that defines the step to update and database schema. Run server or Danzo command to start and development server or Danzo command used to collect the static file. Query filter or way to filter the data in the query set using the condition like dot filter or exclude. A process of grouping the database query to ensure the consistency. Test client or Dendro class used to stimulate the request for being for testing a class that allow you to reuse a common behavior in the class based view or generic class view to display admin mix min danzo admin specific behavior to view mix min for injecting the context into the class based view or reusable component in danzo logging required CRSF exempt a decoder that used to exclude the view from in CRSF protection flat page a model in the Danzo for creating the static page like about us. Site a model in the Danzo for managing the multiple website. Mm, Reverse URL root the process of modeling data Danzo ORM object relational mapper. INTRODUCTIM introduction in CONCLESL. 100 WRDSUSUSD. Make it unreachable for a format. Make it unreachable for